Hi, Andreas from Toddle here, and I'm here with another build for our bad UI hackathon. And so the idea for today is to try and reimagine the CAPTCHA. So the CAPTCHA is this idea of like a little interaction that you do to prove that you're a human acting and not a computer. And the big problem with these is A, they're quite annoying. So they're already pretty bad UI, but also they're not really effective anymore because AI has gotten so much better. So at this point, like with something like Claude computer use, there's not really that much point anymore. Like computers are really good at cheating them now, right? So I thought, let's rethink how we would want to do a CAPTCHA in the age of very sophisticated AI, and at the same time, reinterpret it through this bad UI hackathon, right? So that's what we're doing today. We're building a new CAPTCHA, right? I started out with a blank template. I'm going to delete the root element, and I'm just going to change here the background color. We're going to go with some sort of light gray here, right? And then in here, I want a div, and this div should have a background color that's all white, I think. And we'll add a little bit of shadow, right? So actually, let's go and add a header in there because I want sort of this style. I found this. This is sort of the Google style reCAPTCHA, and it already has kind of these tiles. So it seems like a pretty good, it seems like an easy way to basically build what I'm looking for, right? Okay, so I'm gonna add in the header. I'm gonna add a paragraph in there where we're saying to prove that you are human, right? And then we'll add inside that a span. Lose to the AI. We'll add another text at the end of that paragraph. In a game of Tic-Tac-Toe. So that is the premise here. To prove that you're human, we're going to open a game of Tic-Tac-Toe, and you'll have to lose, because obviously any AI can beat any human in Tic-Tac-Toe. So the only way to prove that you're human will be to lose. That'll be the trick. And AI won't see that coming. They're not that clever. Okay, so we're going to add some padding. We're going to add a background color here. I'm going to pick a blue like 500, something like that. And then a color of, we'll go blue 50, right? And for this, I think I'm going to change to a flex box. And the middle one will double in size. How does that look? I mean, it's not that far, is it? It's not quite right. We'll also make this bold. It's pretty close. We're just aiming for close, right? So I think that's okay. And then we'll add a list in here. And I want these items to be 100%, 100%. And I want there to be more of them. And I think this top one, that's like 308 pixels. Right? Yeah. Let's set that to like 316. 316? We want to do that? Yeah, let's try that. Okay. Percent, that's not quite what we wanted. Pixels. And then the rest will sort of follow, so that's fine. And then here we'll add, we will repeat our item, right? So this should actually have a little bit of, let's add, what are we doing here? We're adding a bit of padding, and 8 pixels here, and maybe also 8 pixel gap. Okay, and then we'll figure out what we do about these afterwards. This should have a background color that's just a little bit darker, I think. Something like this. And now we kind of want to repeat this list item. We'll figure out just go and add like 8 pixels here. We'll go and fit the sizes afterwards to make that work, because we want 3 rows, but we want a single array to loop over. Right. So the first thing we're doing here is we need to repeat this for every tile on the board. And in this case, I'm actually just going to do a single array to sort of represent all the board tiles. We don't want, normally you might want to go nested arrays because you have like 2 dimensions, but I'm actually just going to do 1, and we're just going to list 3 for every row, right? So I'm going to create a new variable called board, and I'm going to go and create an array. And I'm going to just have an empty string. That's 3, 1, 2, 3. That's 2 rows, and 1, 2, 3. So we're just going to have an empty string every time there's nothing in it, right? And actually, let's just go and represent that here for fun. And then maybe we'll say like an X and an O, depending on like what we're playing, right? So we'll do something like that. So we'll go and repeat this item, list item, on our board. And then we're going to take the list up here, change it to this way, and we're going to say wrap. So right now that wraps a little bit too soon. And we could go and do math, but we could also just kind of do this thing and just kind of update and down it until it fits right. And that's a little bit easier, so I'm going to do that. Okay, so I just manually played around with the pixels. At the time it aligns right, that means you have the right spot, right? Okay, so now we have this 3x3 grid, and I'm going to censor this. And inside here, we are just going to type out the item, because it's automatically going to play out what is actually in it. And then maybe the last thing we'll do is we're going to change the color to something that's gray but kind of dark. And we are going to change the size to rem. There, 3. That's pretty good. Okay, so now we have these nice tiles, and it all kind of looks like it should. Maybe we'll add in here a little footer with a... Do we want to add like a verify button? No, not really, because actually that we don't really have anything to put there, do we? No, we'll get rid of that. Okay, so this is our reCAPTCHA. Good. Okay, we need a lot more padding in the header. That we can do, right? We'll just do 16 instead. 24. That's actually kind of better. And then we'll just adjust this one. Oh, yeah. We'll adjust the UL to fit. There. And then see if we can adjust this up to fit as well. Okay. I think it's not quite there. We'll just do this, and then one more on this. Then it should all the math is mathing now. Perfect. Right. And yeah, I mean, if you were a professional designer, you would probably work out the math and stuff. I just pressed up and down until it aligned. So now we've built our UI for this, and we've got a data model here. The next thing we want to do is like when I click one of these, I'll be player, I think X, right? So when I click on a tile, I want to update the board and set that tile, right? So let's go and add a click event. We're going to go set board, and we're going to start with board, and then we're going to use the set formula here. And the key we want to set is the index in array. So that's why it's nice to use a single array here, because it's actually really easy just to use the current index you're looping over, and then we're going to set that to X. Because in our games, the player is always X, right? So let's go and try that in test mode. Now I can click all these and set them X's, right? Okay, so we probably need to do one thing, is that now I can override O's. So let's go and fix that. On my LI, we're going to say switch if board get index. And then if that equals an empty string is empty. All right, so if it's empty, then we grab there, right? Then you can do it. Let's try and refresh. So now I can still set these, but I can't do these. Okay, great. Now, obviously, we need an AI. And building like a tic-tac-toe AI is one of those things you could absolutely do in Toddle, and it's actually kind of fun, but it takes a little bit of time because there's quite a bit of like math to work out. You kind of need to know a little bit of game theory. It's also one of those problems that are kind of tricky, but has been done infinitely many times on the internet. And as a result, it's kind of a perfect candidate for AI to solve. So I'm going to go and copy our board here. This is probably not the greatest because this is kind of a fake board. So we'll go and do this one instead. And I'm going to copy this value here. And then I'm going to go and create a new action called next move. Oh, like that. And I'm going to create that. And here I'm going to put an argument that's a board, which is of type unknown, and events board. And that's my example data right here. Okay. Actually, that's not the greatest example data. Let's do XOX. No, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's actually fine. So I could write this in code. I don't want to today. So this is going to be a little bit of a sneak peek of something we're working on. I want to sort of just ask our AI decision, can you make me, or actually just make a Tic-Tac-Toe AI that returns a board with the next step for player O. Don't add, yes. If board is full, return the board. Right. And this is very much an in-development feature, so we're going to refresh and try again. Create a Tic-Tac-Toe AI that returns the next board with the next move. If board is full, just return the board. Okay. So it does the okay. I mean, AI move, right? So we're looking this, and I mean, it cheated a bit and did a random. Okay, don't make it random. Use a proper Tic-Tac-Toe AI. Sometimes you got to be a little bit direct with the AIs. They're not always good at doing it right. Okay. So now we have a best move. Okay, cool enough. Best move. Okay, and now we're actually in here. We can see it's starting to doing some fine best move. Minimax is like a game theory algorithm used to optimize things like board games. Got a check winner function, all this kind of stuff. Okay, nice. This looks a lot more right. So let's go and grab that one. Say use. And it does seem like it's doing what you're doing. So let's go back and try on our homepage, right? Here, when we click this, then we're going to say next move. And actually, since it returns the board, we actually don't need to set it ahead of time. So I'm just going to copy this one out. And we're going to pass that board directly into the AI, because then we already made our move and we can skip this one. And then when it is done and triggers this event, then we go and set the board, right? Let's go and try this one. And then before we do that, let's just clear the initial board, right? So we don't want anything here. Okay. So now we can see every time we're clicking, it's actually going on and helping us, right? And in this case, we have a tie, and that actually means we lost, right? That's not what we wanted. So what we're going to do is we need a way to know if we've won or we've lost, right? Because right now the AI is doing a lot of great AI playing. Let's just refresh and try again, right? So like in this case, right, if we go, like it actually does win, as it should, but then we need to know that that happened, right? And I don't really want to change the current action because it actually kind of works. So we're going to add a formula instead. Game over, or game state. We'll call game state. And so what this, and we again, we're going to convert to custom code because we're going to use AI again. We're being lazy. Board, and it should be unknown, right? Return the winner of a game of Tic-Tac-Toe where the given a board like this. Then we actually need to go over here to the home page and grab our board. Let's actually just play a bit, right, to give it some, and we can copy this JSON data right here and pass it in to our game state. Oops. Return null if game is not over. Let's try that one. Oh. So now it's generating the code. We've got the game state, winning combos, and it's sort of basically trying if either of those winning combos match. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I suppose that works. And then if it includes any of those, otherwise return, if there's no interspace and no winner, it's a draw. That's actually kind of perfect. And it's going to return X or 0. I mean, this works. This works. Let's go back to our home page here. So now every time we click after we do the board, right? I think here we're going to do a switch. No, actually we're just going to set, we're going to create a new variable. Haha, that's what we're going to do. So called game state. And it's going to start out as null. And every time we run this, we're going to set game state. Well, actually not here. Oh, yeah. We are going to do that. Game state, this one, and it should take a board. Right, we just need to move this up here because we only want to do it if we can actually click. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. Right, and then the last thing we're going to do is that we're going to put a big old div over this one, and we are going to make it fixed. And we're going to say it's going to be on top of everything, and it's going to have a heading 2 in, and it's going to say game over right here in the center. It's going to be dark, so we'll do like this, right? And it's going to have a color that's very light. It's going to be a little bit darker, actually. And we're going to add in a paragraph. And this is going to say, actually, that depends. It's going to say if game state equals draw, it's a draw. Otherwise, it's going to say game state concatenate, and we'll add a space wins. Right, so it's a draw or X or O wins, right? And we're only going to show this if we have game state. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Okay. O wins. Actually, in this case, it should probably just say if O wins. That's the one we should have, right? If it shouldn't be who wins, it should be congratulations, you're a human, right? So let's go and change this one to say if this one's equal O, it should say congratulations, human. Like this, right? Otherwise, nice try, robot. Better luck next time. Did I get that wrong? I think I did get that wrong. This one, it should be, oh, like that. Congratulations, human. Okay, let's try it again. So we've got it here. I'm going to try and win. Which I can't. Oh, nice try, robot. Better luck next time. Okay. And then here we'll do one where we lose. Aha! Excellent. So that was, first of all, a little bit of sneak peek of some of the AI features we've been working on in Toddle, and also entry into how we can build a tic-tac-toe game as a CAPTCHA to sort of fool future robots and still being able to know who's human. If you haven't signed up for the Bad UI Hackathon, go and do that now. The link's in the description. It's toddle.dev/badui, all in one, lowercase. If you haven't tried Toddle, obviously try that. It's a really good opportunity to start and build some really terrible UI. Submit it. Go and give it a shot. It doesn't take that long, and you might be able to win. The competition is closing on Friday, so it's going to be the very last day. So make sure to get in and try it now. Thank you very much for watching.